Alright, we have JT here from locals in New Brunswick, Canada, and he is going to explain his Quickdraw deck from you. He placed first tonight. So here's his deck profile on Quickdraw.
Alright, so I play Quickdraw more over the Debris variant because I find that Quickdraw Synchron is a lot more explosive, enables you to make big, that's not Drill Warrior, big Drill Warrior plays, getting the loop going, generating lots of advantage, Black Rosing every turn by taking a Debris Dragon from your graveyard, big Junk Destroyer plays, and Nitro Warrior, which is huge in the mirror match, and other decks, because Nitro Warrior gets over everything, with a spell card anyway. And Drill Warrior makes awesome plays, pokes the opponent every turn for 1200. Anyway, I like the Quickdraw version better, maybe less consistent, but I find it to be more explosive. So we got 2 Quickdraw Synchrons, 2 Dandelions, main engine of the deck, makes the thing run. 3 Debris Dragons, best tuner in the deck, instant Black Rose Field Bomb, 1 card out to everything your opponent has, makes Stardust, makes Ancient Fairy against a Gravekeeper matchup, makes Scrap Dragon, who's also huge for making plays. 2 Caius, with all the fluff tokens floating around, you've got lots of tribute fodder for them. Raiko and the Caius plays pretty much win you the game because you get so high up on an advantage. Caius takes care of threats like Stardust so that later on you can Junk Destroyer or destroy stuff otherwise. 2 Lone Fire Blossom, they search out all the big guys in your deck. They search out Dandelion, they search out Spore, they search out Glow Bulb, and they bring out Titanium, which is huge in this deck because the deck needs a beater and a 1 card out to de-prison Raiko Compulsory, though getting your Titanium Compulsory kind of sucks. But mostly these guys get out your tuners and they get out Titanium, which is huge because a 1 card 2800 beat stick is awesome. 1 Lila to help with the Drill Warrior plays. Helps hit the back rows, baits Warning, baits Bottomless. Hits the back rows so that Drill Warrior doesn't have to worry about getting them. 2 Raikos. He runs the deck, he mills, he kills a card, he makes big plays with Debris Dragon, and Quickdraw makes Nitro Warrior with him. 1 Sangan. He searches out pretty much every card in your deck except for the big guys, and the little guys can get the bigger guys. Gores, stop OTKs, helps you not get hit for a lot of damage, especially against Sabers or other deck that can clear your field really easily. Glow Bulb, just standard tuner in the deck, gets milled, you bring him back, +1 tribute for a Caius, or sync with somebody else for him. Card Trooper, once again just like the Raikos and the Lila, gets the deck going, and a free card when he dies. Effect Veiler, mostly to stop Caius plays so that your guys don't get removed, but helps against the mirror match against Debris Dragons, and not Lone Fire Blossom, because that's bad Yu-Gi-Ohs, and helps against Black Rose plays too. Tragodia, because it makes drawing Titanium not bad. Ulti, bad shading on him. But anyway, you drop him. You drop him. If you have a Titanium in your hand, you pitch it, steal their Stardust, steal the level 8 Synchro, and you're pretty much laughing at that point because you just turned a really bad card in your hand into a nice beat stick for the rest. I'm pretty sure that's permanent. Yeah, it's permanent, so you just stole their Stardust for the rest of the game.
Unless you tribute
unless you tribute it off and give it back to them, which you shouldn't be doing. But anyway, Spore, really versatile tuner, can go anywhere from level 2 to level 4, or stick as a level 1 when you bring him out. Bring him back with Debris Dragon if you really need to make another Synchro in there. Makes Formula Synchron and then goes into big guys like Goyo or Brinac. He's huge, makes big plays. Titanial, because she's your out to anything that targets. She's godly against Monarch decks. Makes Caius players cry. Stops anything that targets. Basically, a 1 card first turn out to Raiko and the like. Cold Wave plus Lone Fire turn 1 is usually a pretty hard thing for people to get out of unless they have Smashing or Dark Hole in their hand. Spirit Reaper, because he wins games. Helps you stop OTKs with decks like Machina that isn't as playable now. And Sig Sams especially don't like this guy. You get rid of their field, he hits a card in their hand, and that really hurts them, and they can't get over him. With Dark Hole's pretty much their only out to Spirit Reaper. Cyber Draken, because the deck lacks beat sticks. So you have this guy to bait Warning and Bottomless just like Lila does. But he also has the added factor of being a beat stick, special summon from the hand to bring out with your Glow Bulb or your Spore. He puts in work, especially in the Machina matchup, because then you go Fortress Dragon. So that's it for the monsters. We got 2 Book of Moon for the spells. Big card. Stops synchro plays, helps protect your monsters. Just overall, really versatile card. 2 Pot of Avarice to reuse all the stuff that goes to your graveyard constantly. Great +1 late game, allows you to recycle your Debris Dragons, your Quickdraw, and Black Rose Dragon. Cold Wave, because the card is nuts and should be banned. You just make disgusting plays with Cold Wave that should never be allowed in Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 Mystical Space Typhoon to pick off those back rows that might hurt the Drill Warrior play or the Black Rose play. Foolish Burial, send anything. It's basically your reverse toolbox card. Monster Reborn, because it should be banned. Dark Hole, because it's Dark Hole. Giant Trunade, this helps with big pushes. I usually do it for a Caius play. When I really need to get that +1 to get over my opponent, I don't mind taking the hit by losing Trunade in my hand when I can get a big push in there. Get rid of their big monster. Charge to search out Raikou and Lila and gives you a little bit of extra milling because you took out a Raikou for that Lila. And Lila doesn't always get her milling when she gets Bottomless or Warninged. And then for the traps, we got 2 Warning, because this card is nuts. I wish I had a 3rd one, because every time you play this card, if you play it right, you'll win the game. Mirror Force, card is absolutely nuts in the mirror match. This is the one thing that Titanial has a hard out getting to. Stops opponents splashing their field with stuff that isn't a Stardust. Solemn, for being solemn. And we got 2 Dust Tornadoes to help pick off the back rows again with your Caius plays or your Drill Warrior plays. And for the extra deck, we got 1 Stardust. Pretty much only ever make him once in a game. I've never needed to do it more than once. Scrap Dragon.
Iron Chain Dragon.
Scrap Dragon, he just makes huge plays with Debris Dragon and all the fluff tokens that are kicking around. Junk Destroyer, another way to make big plays, even if you can only get a +1 off of him by just sinking Quickdraw with a Spore, or not with a Spore, sorry, with a Spirit Reaper. He still makes big plays if you get 3 fluff tokens to combo with him. 2 Black Rose, because they're your instant out to everything. And if you don't need to nuke the field, and you've got a bunch of little monsters on your opponent's side of the field defense position, remove a plant, switch them to attack position, and hit for lots of damage. But mostly, these guys are your 1 card out to anything your opponent tries to do. Ancient Fairy Dragon for the Gravekeeper matchup. The deck has such a hard time dealing with Gravekeepers, and though you won't be able to go Debris into Dandelion to get this guy out usually, you'll be able to sync with him for another way because he's a generic tuner. Or a generic synchro, sorry. But he's your out to Gravekeepers. Nitro Warrior for the mirror match especially, but in other matchups he just helps get over everything that's too big for your other mainstream guys to get over. Brynak for being nuts. Goyo for being the biggest 6-star synchro in the game, stealing stuff, and just being awesome. Cataster, the only level 5 I play, the only one that's really needed, helps in the mirror match versus Titanial, helps in any deck that doesn't, against any deck that doesn't run dark monsters, and he's really easy to make with Spore and a token. Armory Arm, just to have a level 4 when you really need it, when you have nothing else to do other than sync a Formula Synchron with a Raikou. 2 Formula Synchrons, really easy to make with tokens and all the level 1 tuners that you run. And he also lets you draw a card. And then Drill Warrior. Big guy in the deck, gets a lot of advantage going, annoys your opponent every turn for 1200. The reason why I play Quickdraw, basically. And the side deck really quick. Mind Crush. You gotta be able to read good. And I don't always side in against this card, but you side it in against anything that searches or draws or that you know what they're going to be playing, or you try and hit the 1 card outs that they might have. Nobleman, Mirror Match, and Gravekeepers. card hits a lot of stuff in the mirror match. Hits Dandelions, hits Rykos, hits Spies against Gravekeepers, which is huge. An extra effect Veiler against Monarch type decks or in the mirror match to hit those Debris Dragons so they don't do anything with them. 2 DD Crows for the mirror match or anything that uses the graveyard. 2 Malevolent Catastrophe. Malevolent, I can't pronounce that right, never could. Basically for Gravekeepers. Tonight I had a really big play where I Mind Crushed Malefic Stardust and then Malevolent Catastrophe their 3 spell and trap field, including a Necro Valley, and all they had left in their possession was a Caius on the field, and you just won the game from there. They couldn't recover from it. Huge card with Heavy Storm gone. 2 Thunder King Ryo. Anything that searches, you play this guy against Sabres. Don't ever like seeing this guy. The lesser played Absolute Zero almost can never get around this guy other than with Dark Hole or Snowman Eater, or using one of their fusion cards. Cyber Dragon for the Machina matchup, or any matchup where you might need a bigger beat stick. 2 Smashing Ground, which actually didn't put in a lot of work tonight. I use them mostly for decks that run a lot of bigger monsters, like Judgment Dragon and stuff like that, but I never had any deck to put them in against tonight, so I'm kind of debating whether to put them in or not. Oh, and I just realized that also missing from the extra deck was a Chimeric Fortress Dragon. I forgot to put that in there, but he was supposed to be in there. And then the last 2 cards in the side deck are 2 Gen X Ally Duradark. Huge in the Black Wings matchup, which is our second worst matchup compared to Gravekeepers. These guys get rid of Sirocco's and Armor Masters like they're nothing. Just pop them, and then you got a nice 1800 beater on the field that they got to waste a Kalut to get over. And that's the deck.
Okay, JD, so after giving us your quick draw deck, let's go with one question here. Your thoughts on the March ban list and Debris Dragon?
Debris Dragon is probably going to get hit simply because of the fact that a 1 card out to everything your opponent has is just too much. I don't see him staying at 3. Even with that Max C guy that's coming out, your opponent can draw 3 off him, but Debris Dragon probably will still get hit just because he's too big of a card to leave at 3.
To
Instant
2,
field
or do you
nuke.
think to 1 where they'll kill the deck?
He'll 2, especially with that Max C guy kicking around. He'll probably only stay down to 2.
All right, well, thank you, JT, and have a good night.